inevitably the non-profit. I have to be Dennis Loubet. Hi. And he has to be Matt Dillahunty.
Hello.
And we have to be your hosts on this day, the 30th of June, 2007. And we have no choice but to be broadcasting from the Dillahunty International Studios in Austin, Texas. And what you heard could be nothing but Idiot's Rule by Jane's Addiction. In fact, the initial conditions of the Big Bang have determined that the nonprofits are simply an unavoidable effect of the atheist community of Austin, which is, inescapably, a nonprofit educational organization which promotes positive atheism and the separation of church and state. It is also impossible for me to avoid mentioning that the atheist community of Austin has a happy hour, held at the only time and place it can be held, the Dog and Duck, on Thursday nights at 7:30. This necessary chain of cause and effect that stretches back 13 billion years determines not only that the nonprofits are broadcast live every other Saturday from 2 o'clock to 3:30, but also makes it inevitable that some few listeners will participate by logging into the chat room after reading the instructions found at the Nonprofits page at www.nonprofitsradio.com. So, since we are nothing but cogs in the vast machine of the universe, I can do nothing but welcome all the cogs listening to this part of the machine. And you will believe we are the Nonprofits. Hi, I'm Dennis Loubet, and he's Matt Dillahunty.
Hello.
And by the grace of the ACA, we're going to be your host today. The ACA has deemed it fit that we broadcast from the Dillahunty International Studios in Austin, Texas, and that it's the 14th of July, 2007. By the authority of the ACA, the music you heard was The Show Must Go On by Pink Floyd. The ACA is, of course, the atheist community of Austin, and we serve at its pleasure. The ACA is a nonprofit organization for the promotion of positive atheism and the separation of church and state, and these truths cannot be disputed. Know that by sovereign right, the ACA favors the Dog and Duck on Thursday nights at 7:30 for its happy hour. The ACA also grants to us the chat room instructions at www.nonprofitsradio.com so that all may participate. By the will of the ACA, we broadcast live every other Saturday from 2 to 3:30. So listen well to the words of the nonprofits, lest you forfeit what grace the ACA, in its infinite mercy, has granted you. And we don't believe we're the nonprofits because we don't believe anything. Hi, I'm Dennis Loubet, and he's Matt Dillahunty.
Hello.
And we're your gods for today. Although we have no purpose, we're broadcasting anyway from the Dillahunty International Studios in Austin, Texas, on the 28th of July, 2007. Of course, what we really want to be doing is raping and killing, and pillaging, and watching Battlestar Galactica. And even though we're unable to appreciate the beauty of it, the music you heard was The Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. This show is sponsored by the Atheist Community of Austin, a non-profit Stalinist organization that wants to evangelize the religion of atheism under the guise of defending the separation of church and state by making prayer a capital crime. The ACA hosts a happy hour at the Dog and Duck on Thursday nights at 7:30, where we can share our stories about the traumas we've suffered that made us mad at God. Because we have no morals, the nonprofits broadcasts live every other Saturday from 2 to 3:30. And since monkeys are social creatures, you can participate in our shit-throwing chat room by reading the instructions at www.nonprofitsradio.com and logging in. So, unless you want another hurricane or 9/11, you better listen to how we baby eaters deny the God we believe in so that you can do anything you want.
Word.
So, in case people aren't getting the gist here, I'm doing an intro based on a logical fallacy, different one every 2 weeks. Last one was appeal to authority. This one is, of course, strawman.
And it was bloody brilliant.
It's everything the theists say about us.
Yeah. And they're so right, you know.
Oh, yeah. I want to be just like Hitler.
It wasn't any pursuit of truth or any goal of mine to find out whether or not my beliefs were really real. I just got really mad and frustrated at God because he didn't want me to watch porn and
Or he took your puppy.
Yes.
You know.
I had pet fish and God took them away from me.
That bastard. And we are the non-profits, because if we weren't, the terrorists would win. I better be Dennis Loubet, and he better be Matt Dillahunty. And he better be our special guest, Russell Glasser.
Hiya.
Otherwise, our parents have carried out a systematic and inexplicable program of deception. And we must be broadcasting live from the Dillahunty International Studios in Austin, Texas on the 25th of August because if we are, there's a good chance we'll precipitate world peace. And the music you heard is Frozen by Curve. Because if it isn't, then they stole that song and put it on their album. Bastards. The Nonprofits has to be sponsored by the atheist community of Austin and has to be a nonprofit educational organization for the promotion of positive atheism and the separation of church and state. Because that's just so selfish, altruistic, and godlike. I mean, how ironic is that? And the ACA must have a happy hour at the Dog and Duck at 7:30 every Thursday evening. And there has to be more information about it at www.atheist-community.org. And the ACA voicemail at 512-371-2911. Or else our gray, humdrum lives would make the looming specter of suicide start to look attractive. Now, it's a fact we broadcast live every other Saturday from 2 to 3:30 because we love you deeply and sincerely. And that you can participate in the broadcast by reading the instructions at www.nonprofitsradio.com and logging into the chat room. Because if you couldn't, there would be little point to the universe. And so, unless you like the void in existence itself, enjoy the show.